Department of Public Works is an integral part of the economic growth, development, and vitality of the city. There are countless projects that the Department of Public Works oversees through all 5 of our bureaus. That generates a lot of jobs. There are construction jobs, architectural jobs, design jobs, planning jobs, administrative jobs, apprentice-type jobs. We have everything from bird experts to asphalt experts that we deal with in the Department of Public Works. You really are unlimited when you talk about the kind of jobs that the Department of Public Works in the city of Los Angeles creates. We contract out through a Department of Public Works project labor agreement. There are very specific goals related to the existing project labor agreement. And one of the existing goals is a local hire goal, a local hire mandate, if you will. Not only are we guaranteeing employment for our residents, we are also guaranteeing employment for some of our residents that are most in need of finding employment. The benefit back to the community has been enormous. Since this PLA has been put in place, we can quantify $55 million that have been put back into the community. That really is kind of Exhibit A of what the Department of Public Works, overseen by the Board of Public Works, is doing to ensure jobs take place and are created right here in the city of Los Angeles. We have something called the Business Assistance Virtual Network. It's available online, of course, at labavn.org. It's really a resource for contracting entities that work with the city of Los Angeles. They can see what projects are available. They have all kinds of bidding instructions and all kinds of assistance that is provided online. It really is a way through technology to open the door, to provide a much more welcome environment for contracting firms that want to do business with the city of Los Angeles.
My name is Arash Dagigian. I'm with Ford Engineering and Construction. We're a local general contractor working within the city of Los Angeles. We found out about the Echo Park Lake Rehabilitation Project through the City of LA's website, the BAVN website, and immediately started looking into the bidding process. It took about a month and a half for the bidding process from beginning to end. We attended the city's local business inclusion program meeting, which involved subcontractors meeting prime contractors like us. During the bidding process, there was a requirement to have local subcontractors involved, which we met, which included minorities, women-owned businesses, and local business enterprises. This provided us, as a local business, with our subs who are local, a distinct advantage during the bidding phase. So the bid process was actually very exciting. Our entire team at our office met up at 5 o'clock in the morning, putting together all the numbers, getting all the final elements put together, making sure you're not missing anything.
It was kind of like finals week. You see a lot of folks that are coming in to finish their bid. You'll see them lying in the halls filling out their bid documents. They go in, the envelopes are sealed, and then everyone goes in at the same time. We unseal the envelopes and everyone hears what their competition bid on the project. It's a very public bidding process. Every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. in the light of day, we actually announce the bids.
We all were very eager and excited to see how it went. Nervous, excited all at the same time. But we knew that our bid was competitive and we knew where it needed to be. And being a local business and providing a bid to the Board of Public Works gave us the comfort knowing that we're a local enterprise and we're going to have that advantage if necessary against a company that's not local. We submitted our bid at 10 a.m. It was not too long after that, probably around 10:15 or so, we found out that we had won the project. It was very, very exciting. Actually, a lot of celebration. When the bid was concluded, about 60 days later, the project was awarded. We started the project with our own staff and hired many local subcontractors. The scope of the project on the Echo Park Lake Rehabilitation included the overall draining of the lake because there's an impaired body of water. We drained the entire lake. We took out contaminated soil, safely rescued over 6,000 fish and transferred them to a lake adjacent nearby. After we drained the lake and removed the contamination, we rebuilt all the edges around the lake, which included all the retaining walls and all the finishes that you see. Within the lake, we also constructed an on-site bentonite liner that helped reduce the water loss within the lake. After that, on the outside of the lake, we constructed all new concrete pavements, all new landscaping, water treatment systems, and basically constructed the lake to improve the water quality within the city. Successfully, we were able to hire over 200 new employees who work within the City of Los Angeles, which represented over 55% of the total hours worked on the project. In addition to that, we were also able to hire local apprentices who were trained in the field on the job, which basically came out to about another 50% of the overall project, and we were able to train over 55 local employees during the course of this project. When the project was complete, they actually were able to go back and become a vital source on any other project within the city as well.
My job was wiring all the trees, place all the ropes around the lake, and cleaning a little bit of everything.
Was it hard work getting those ducks inside that pond?
Sometimes there's a lot of people not working, so I feel like happy, to be part of this project. It helps a lot of people locally.
We have people ask us, how is it to work within the City of Los Angeles? How is it working with the Board of Public Works? Your system, your company is set to succeed because they help and assist you all the way through.
By awarding contracts on the projects through the Department of Public Works, we are creating jobs in every industry that exists in the most diverse economic climate in America that is the second largest city in our country, Los Angeles.
I like this park because this park has a lot of trees, a bridge, a water lake, ducks, lily pads, and my daddy built it.
City of Los Angeles Sanitation is part of the Public Works Department. We're responsible for collecting all the household waste and recyclables every single day, 365 days a year. Bulky item pickup is a service that we provide for the curbside to collect the larger items that don't fit inside of your trash receptacle or recycling containers. They could be couches, furniture, tables. It could be e-waste, which is computers, radios, electronics, and then also we have our white goods, which is your water heaters, stoves, and metal items. You can call and make an appointment, and we'll come out on your collection day and pick up those bulky items.
Bulky item pickup has been really great. We were renovating our place, so it was great to call and have them just come and pick it up. And we've put out couches and desks and tables and construction boards and materials. We've also used the website to request an appointment, and we just placed it outside, whatever items we had, and then on the trash pickup day, they came and it was gone. So it was really great.
When I'm picking up trash, just driving around, people come out, wave to me, stop me, and they ask for information. I just tell them it's 311 or the number on the side of the can, and we'll pick it up the day of the trash. When they call, then you shouldn't be afraid because they have Spanish-speaking people on the other side. I'm pretty sure they have Korean, Japanese. This is LA, so there's a lot of different nationalities. Don't be afraid to call us 311, and we'll take care of it as soon as we can.
Bulky item collection is available for all of our customers throughout the whole entire city of Los Angeles. That includes our regular residential customers and our multifamily customers. The service is already paid for. All you have to do is call up and take advantage of it. There's no additional charge. The bulky item service prevents blight on the street, which is material just thrown out. It causes hazards for small children and also for elderly people, and it's an eyesore.
They just throw everything out on the curb and it just becomes trash. People just come and dump more stuff, and it just makes it worse. So if you guys call 311, we'll pick it up and make sure it gets recycled properly.
City of Los Angeles Sanitation is always looking for new ways to divert waste from the landfills. Our ultimate goal is to be zero waste. In the bulky items, e-waste is 100% recycled, as well as our white goods, which is our metal bulky items. Stoves and water heaters, those are also recycled at metal scrap yards. We have a pilot program right now for diverting our mattresses to full recycling, and we're looking into other means of removing the bulky items from the waste stream. For the customer, it's as simple as calling the 800 number and leave the rest to sanitation. We'll take care of the diversion, we'll take care of all the recycling, we'll take care of discarding your items.
People call, we pick it up the day of the trash, and we take it and get recycled.
Our bulky items refuse collection truck operator goes out in a vehicle and collects 40 or 50 stops scheduled in the morning. We give them a list. They'll go out and collect all of those 50 stops, put it into the vehicle.
That's quite a bit actually. 4 or 5 drivers, that's over 200 calls that you gotta take care of. We came to the stop right here and there was 4 stops that were not scheduled, and that's what makes the neighborhood look ugly. And so I took care of it, put it in the truck, and just keep on pushing. The appearance, it makes a big deal. I mean, you just see the pride people take in their property when they see us helping them. They see us cleaning it, and so they get a little pride and start cleaning their area. And you know, one neighbor sees another neighbor and they start cleaning, and you know, it helps everybody. The value of the house, the community goes up, things like that. It's very good.
It was fun for my son because he loves trash trucks, so it was great for him to interact with the drivers and talk to them and tell them that he wants to be a sanitation driver when he's 18, he said.
But I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna be a trash man. The black waste is for trash, green waste is for green stuff like grass, the blue bin is for recycling. If it's big trash, there's bulky item there, you have to call me haul.
My name's Tony Pratt. I'm the Chief Surveyor for the Bureau of Engineering, and I'm the manager of the Survey Division.
My name is Mahmoud Karimzadeh. I'm the Principal Architect for City of Los Angeles Bureau of Engineering.
We're at the Merced Theater. This is a very old building, obviously a historical building.
It's the birthplace of the Los Angeles. El Pueblo area is the birthplace of Los Angeles.
Right in this area. So instead of tearing down this building and building something new, the aim of this project is to renovate this structure, this building, and bring it up to code, make it a usable space. For that process, Mahmoud needs as-built drawings, and particularly important on this building because it's so old, there are no existing construction plans, no existing as-built drawings for them to work off of.
In order to complete our design drawings or construction details, we need the accurate data of the building existing structures, including windows, where they are, including the architectural or historical features on the building. And Tony now, with using the 3D scanners, able to give us the accurate point cloud or the as-built drawings.
What we're going to deliver to them is very accurate 3D model of the existing site.
What architects will do with our point cloud, they would build an as-built model. After they know what's out there, they can start to design around it.
Otherwise, they had to build that model. And how much of time-consuming and tedious work that would have been if we only had to work with two-dimensional drawings. In the last several years, the industry, the architectural offices and engineering offices started to go to 3D modeling design.
Survey equipment is ever evolving. The laser scanner is our first one. We hope to purchase more. This piece of equipment is going to save a lot of money in both the design process and in the construction process. And it doesn't result in changes later when they discover things in the construction process, which results in change orders and adds cost to the project. So we have all the information necessary at the very beginning of the project.
Conventionally, when we survey, this is the type of product that's produced. You need 2 to 3 people. They would set up and probably take about 100 shots to map this all day. Now, with the scanner, we take 2 setups with 1 person and capture it within 40 minutes. Plus, we have the benefit if we grab way more information.
This instrument collects 50,000 points per second as opposed to the old instruments, which were about 1 point every 3 seconds.
Bottom line is you have more data. So if there's any questions in the future, you never have to return to the field. If they ever want more, you have it here.
Different survey equipment is better adapted for different processes. We have a variety of tools. We have GPS, we have laser total stations. We still use conventional survey equipment. The 3D scanner is another surveying tool for us, and we can use it for street work, for a variety of typically ordinary surveying projects. Why it's exciting to me is that it gets us called into areas which we may not have been asked to be a big participant in before. It's very busy since we purchased it. It's been active every day for requests for architecture and landslides, and we've surveyed bridges with it. For example, the 6th Street Bridge, the bridge is about 100 and something feet up in the air. And so to gather that type of data up there is very important.
I was able to scan from the top of the bridge down to the railroads. We didn't even have to touch the railroad, and we're able to map it. You can't compare it. We wouldn't have done this work before. So we're still scratching the surface in what we can do with the scanner.
Previously, we would not have been able to help Mahmoud on the interior of this building. We would not been able to gather the data. It's not typically a place on the inside of the building where you call out a surveyor. For example, we were surveying up into the ceiling, up to 35 feet high, and ordinarily we'd have to have a ladder or some other method to get up that high. So this is a benefit safety-wise. We don't have to climb in ladders and be in difficult situations.
We process these point clouds for different disciplines. We might use a point cloud to actually make our topo map. Others might use a point cloud for asset management, such as like a power plant. We'll scan it, they can model it, and then they'll know exactly what they have in the computer. Also, we're using it for historical preservation.
For people who want to study this building, architectural students, professional in this historical preservation work, they could now study the differentiation between different eras, architectural features or historical features very accurately now, and how they evolve from one era to the other era. Outside this building, we have so many architectural features. They not only need to be maintained, but also there are some restoration, some preservation work going on throughout the project. Architects are able to convert this huge data that Tony collects with the 3D scanning and get a 3D pictures of a corner of the building that's very obsolete. They can't see it well before. They can't measure it even. But with this equipment, we are able to do that now.
The information of the infrastructure can be kept in a database.
At certain milestones, you scan the complete site. So when you're done, you almost have an X-ray vision, so you know what's behind walls. If you want to paint the walls, you know exactly how much square foot there is. If you need to put a pipe through the wall, you know you're not going to hit.
We not only know the width and the height of the pipe, but we can know when it was installed, who the manufacturer was, when it was retrofitted, when it was replaced. It's the information about the life of the building, from its infancy to its eventual teardown.
Now, just imagine with this accurate information, how could we accurately ask a contractor to do some construction work? Not only that, keep the data, like Tony mentioned before, keep the data for the future maintenance as well. So it's enormous help, time saving, money saving.
It's neat that Tony had the foresight to move the survey into another direction. As we move other people within the Bureau with us. It is becoming a standard in the industry.
I'm proud of our Bureau of Engineering that we're able to keep up with the curve. We're going into a new phase of surveying. We're getting into areas that land surveyors weren't involved in before. It is a new opportunity, I think, and a new avenue for growth for the surveying profession.
Today is the 25th annual Los Angeles River Cleanup, La Gran Limpieza, which is when we bring people down to the river by the thousands to pick up trash. Plastic, foam, fast food wrappers. The trash comes from a lot of sources, but primarily it comes from every storm drain in the city that drains directly into the Los Angeles River. After a storm, it's dangerous because anything could be floating down the river at that point. One of the real issues ahead of us is to figure out how to restore the watershed. The Tillman plant is an incredibly positive addition. It's a water cleaning facility. The water coming out of Tillman is a very high level of tertiary treated reclaimed water. When it comes into the Los Angeles River, it's a level that the state health department says can be put onto food crops. A very high level of water.
I'm Hiro Neto. I'm the plant manager at the Donald C. Tillman Water Reclamation Plant. And what we do here is we treat wastewater, and we make good quality effluent for the LA River.
I manage the Los Angeles River Watershed Monitoring Program, and I see the water in the river, but I'm interested in taking a tour today to see how you take wastewater and turn it into nice, clean, disinfected water that gets discharged. So can you give me a tour today?
Of course, let's do it.
Okay.
We're standing in front of the Headworks facility, and this is where the sewage first enters the treatment plant. The plant handles about 40 million gallons per day. The sewage comes from basically northwest San Fernando Valley. It's an area of about 700,000 to 800,000 homes, mostly residential, not much industrial waste. This is also the first step in the wastewater treatment process for this treatment plant. Over here we have screw pumps that lift the sewage in order to give us gravity flow downstream. We also have bar screens that capture any large debris or material that might come in with the sewage.
So the water's come into the facility, we've removed the larger material, and we're here now at the primary settling tanks. Can you explain what happens next?
Sure. As the water flows through the plant, it comes in at about 3 feet per second. So the intent here is to have the water enter a very large volume, which slows it down. And once you slow it down, the heavy grease material will settle to the bottom, and the lighter grease material will flow to the top. And our job here is to remove that material.
And where do you take the material that settles to the bottom?
Well, we skim it from the bottom and also from the top, and then we send it back into the sewer system. And eventually it ends up at Hyperion Treatment Plant, where they process it in the digesters and turn to biosolids.
Okay, so where are we now?
Well, what you're looking at is the secondary aeration process. This is where we duplicate what nature does in rivers and streams, except we capture it in a much smaller area, make it very ideal for nature to do its course, and enhance the process itself. The wastewater comes out of primary and now serves as food for the microorganisms that are in the aeration tanks. We call this activated sludge. It consists of amoebas, flagellates, ciliates, very small bacteria that actually consume the pollutants.
So given that there's so many bacteria at work here in this process, how come we don't see them in the effluent?
You should not see any bacteria in the effluent. Of course, when you feed bacteria, they multiply, correct?
Yes.
So we maintain just enough organisms to match the amount of wastewater coming in, which serves as their food source. So it's a fine balancing act that we have to do about every day. We're standing in these secondary settling tanks. The flow from the aeration tanks, where all the bacteria are, now flows to the secondary tanks, where it's slowed down even more. Here we allow the sludge and bacteria to settle to the bottom and also flow to the top. Again, we skim them off and we send it back to the aeration tanks. The excess growth of bacteria that we do have, we waste. We send that back to the sewer system, and that goes back to Hyperion eventually.
Okay, and so the water from here now, is this good enough quality to discharge into the Los Angeles River?
No, not quite. It still needs to be filtered and disinfected. What you see here is the flow that's coming out of the secondary settling tanks. It's now flowing in this direction and going into our filters. And once the flow goes through the filters, we remove any remaining particulate matter down to maybe 10 microns. And this flow from here will then flow into our final treatment process. We are standing on our chlorine contact bases. This is where we add chlorine that you see in those tanks behind me, sodium hypochlorite, into the effluent to disinfect any remaining bacteria in the water.
But we don't want chlorinated water ending up into the LA River.
That's correct. So we have one final step. We add bisulfite in the final effluent channel, which actually dechlorinates the water. So by the time it gets to our discharge points, there should be zero chlorine remaining in the water.
Wow, so that's pretty high quality water that you're discharging.
We're required to monitor 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. But we've been in compliance continuously for quite a while now, so we intend to keep with that.
So obviously the habitat in the LA River require or rely on the water coming from this treatment plant. So does all of the water from here end up in the LA River?
A lot of our water is used for irrigation, and that's purple pipe. And that irrigation is for landscape purposes, for our Japanese garden, for the parks, for the golf courses. The remaining water does flow to the river. What do you think of our water quality downstream?
The Los Angeles River Watershed Monitoring Program does sample some sites downstream of the discharge, and the water quality there seems pretty good. So you guys are doing a great job, but once it enters the urban system, there's so many other pollutant sources, from urban runoff to commercial and industrial inputs. So really it's up to the residents of the watershed collectively to work together to help improve the water quality, and that might be as simple as just picking up trash, not letting oil and fertilizers run off their gardens. So it really is a larger effort than just what you guys are doing here.
The primary thing is to be conscious. Things that you throw out your window of your car, things that you dump into the storm drains, it'll all end up in the LA River, in the ocean. Come down to the river, if you see something trashy, pick it up and put it in a trash can. That's where it belongs.
Once you actually start spending time here and you see the number of birds and other things that are living in the river, realize that it's a little ecosystem right in the heart of our city.
Get out here and enjoy the river, walk along the river, pick up trash as you're out enjoying the river.
Come to the river and enjoy it, because the more you're aware of a resource, the more you're going to be vested in its success and taking better care of it.
Does the river belong to us?
Yes! Yes.
Does the river belong to our community?
Yes!
Let's get out there and clean up some trash. Thank you very much.